It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, squee! So, we're obviously looking at the box of the Arcade1Up Legacy Edition Midway Classic Arcade. Just came in today. In fact, weirdly enough, I mean, it wasn't even supposed to be here till next week, according to the tracking information I was looking at on the GameStop website. And anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm very happy it's here. So, you've heard me talk about this particular cabinet several times in previous videos. And to be perfectly honest, again, it's not even the Mortal Kombat part of it, of this cabinet that I'm interested in. It's the other games that are on there. So for those of you who've been following Arcade1Up, several years ago, they had the Generation 1 cabinets where they had Rampage and Joust and Defender as their kind of primary games. And I haven't been able to find one at a reasonable price that wasn't, completely being raked over the coals on eBay or anything like that. So when they announced this Midway Classics Legacy Edition here, I was like all over it. I had to get one. And then they sold out like really fast, or at least the pre-orders did. And people were complaining about it in other YouTube videos about the fact that they would they weren't able to get them. And so then I managed to luck into it myself, and I posted a video about that. And here we are, a little over a month later, with the new cabinet. Now, normally I do the whole, Arcade1Up cabinet build video, but I think in this case you've seen me do this enough, and I've done it with the Final Fight and the Pac-Man and the Galaga and the Star Wars cabinet and everything else. I think, all right, we're done. These things pretty much all build the same way, so we'll skip that part. I'm just going to go ahead and build this thing, and then we are going to go ahead and play some of the games and see what it's like. Although I do have to admit that the artwork for the Mortal Kombat cabinet is freaking awesome. I mean, that blue is one of my favorite colors, and so that gorgeous deep dark blue there with the lightning bolts and everything else, that's damn near tattoo worthy right there, if you ask me. I mean, if I was a bigger Mortal Kombat fan, that I would seriously consider that as a potential artwork for a tattoo. I really do enjoy that. Although the lightning bolts do give me a little bit of inspiration there, so that's pretty cool. The Arcade1Up Midway Mortal Kombat or Midway Classic Arcade is done. I don't have it on the riser yet. I just built the riser, but here you can see the completed unit. Go ahead and do a little bit of a walk around here. The marquee is a light up, and when I do the gameplay, we'll go ahead and have it all fired up and you'll see that. The deck is got the plastic protector on there, which is always nice. Got the nice joysticks there, the bat style. Plenty of buttons, of course. Now, one of the features that I thought was always kind of interesting as they're selling this thing was this is just part of the panel. That's all sticker right there. That's not actually a coin slot, which is fine. It's pretty cool. But again, I'm going to say this over and over and over again. These things, and maybe somebody will just do it, because these things will make great hiding places for stuff. There's a lot of air in these boxes. So that somebody doesn't turn that into like some sort of little hidey hole or storage thing for their booze or whatever else that they might want to hide. I think they're missing a bet there. Now, one thing I will say as I put this thing together, this thing is, again, the quality, the craftsmanship is actually really, really superb. The trim is really nice. Again, everything is fitting. And actually, compared to some of the other cabinets that I've put together, the fit and finish of this thing is even better. The tolerances, I feel, are even tighter than previous iterations of this cabinet, or at least in my opinion as I was building these things, because as I was putting in the control deck and the back panel, they fit a lot more firmly than some of the other versions. And before I put the cabinet in its place on the riser, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a walk around of the riser itself. It's got that very, very low-key, subdued Mortal Kombat logo there up front. So very subtle, but then you step over to the side here, and of course it gets less subtle. But there it is, very well built. Nice 1/4-inch MDF paneling there, so very sturdy. And again, the fit and finish is fantastic on this thing. Okay, there it is. Arcade1Up Midway. Mortal Kombat 2, Classic or Legacy Arcade. I guess kind of weird. They have Legacy Edition there, Classic Arcade down there. Kind of just either way, I guess it'll work. Sitting up on the riser, in the corner, all by lonesome until I get the Star Wars Arcade1Up pinball and the At Games Tetris cabinet. But yeah, let's go ahead and fire it up. Classic on-off switch. There's the marquee all nicely lit up with the standard Arcade1Up loading screen. Of course, the graphics on these monitors is fantastic. Hi, everybody. Oh, I love that. That's super cool. Stereo speakers. So this is their first, one of their entries into the sort of the 90s and 2004 Mortal Kombat 2. The menu is super cool. It's got your granular audio controls. Again, much better than the Gen 1, Gen 2 volume. So Mortal Kombat 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat, which is fine. Again, I didn't buy it for those though. Rampage is almost in Joust, or almost entirely why I bought this. Again, I couldn't get that Gen 1 cabinet, which would have been really cool because the artwork on that one was pretty cool. So between Rampage, Joust, and Defender, that's awesome. I will say this, I didn't realize that Gauntlet was part of this, because Gauntlet was a game that I played in the early 2000s when I first started working at the company that I worked at, and it was one of those classic tech company startups with that game specifically, full size, in the break room, arcade room, or whatever you want to call it. So that was really cool. Paperboy, I remember seeing that in the arcade. And then Root Beer Tapper, I guess, which is the family-friendly version of Beer Tapper, if you know anything about the history of that game. So we'll just go ahead and go into Mortal Kombat here just to see what the graphics are like. So we're going to go ahead and press the human button there to select the game. And here we go, where we've got all the different controls that it's going to tell you about. You can press the human 1, 2 human buttons at the same time to pause the game. You can press and hold the 2 human to reset and or to go back. So here we go. We'll go ahead and continue on here. See what we're dealing with here. High punch, low punch, blocks, low kicks, high kicks. All right, let's go. And you can play all the different characters. Let's see what we end up with. Nice. I don't know any of the combos, at least not yet. Actually, I don't know what the finishing move is there, so I couldn't like rip her skull off or anything like that. These joysticks are awesome. Ooh. Oh, gonna lose this one. can see with the placement here. Ah. Oh. All right. So that was Mortal Kombat. We're not going to bother with the replay here. We'll go out to the main menu and try something else in a minute. Again, the graphics are spot on. Didn't get on the board. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let's go back to a game that I always enjoyed, which was Joust. Okay, flap. It's just that lower button there. So some of you younger kids wouldn't necessarily recognize this. Now, interestingly enough, if you watch the movie, what was the movie? Ready Player One. Well, maybe I should say this. If you read the book Ready Player One, Joust actually plays a very large part in the book, whereas it didn't in the movie. I think there was maybe a passing reference to it, but it wasn't actually mentioned in the wasn't actually dealt with in the book, in the movie. In the movie, it was the car race, whereas in the book, it was all about the. Ooh, missed that one. It was all about. No. Oh. Oh, shoot. No. Ah, get away. Woohoo! Alright. Oh, I should have been flying. Whoa! Done killed myself. You actually can kill that pterodactyl, but it's very hard to do. You have to hit him just right, and I don't think I've ever done it in the time that I've been playing this game since the 80s. Whoa! What? Freaking pterodactyl. Oh, the silver guys are coming out now. Oh. And people are moving much faster now. Damn it. Ah. There we go. There's Joust, which I haven't played in a very long time. So that was a lot of fun. Oh, 29th on the board already. And then we can go back out. And maybe play some Rampage. Again, another video game that wound up being a movie, or in a movie. So there was the movie Rampage with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? Didn't have much to do with the original, but let's see what happens here. I guess I probably should have seen what the controls are. Oh well. We'll play George. Now, interestingly enough, you have the ability of playing all three characters across the top there. Very cool. And that's the classic game Rampage, folks. Interesting, you can actually change the settings. Oh, look at that. Normal difficulty, scan lines, save and exit, or save defaults. You can actually change how difficult these are. It's like having the dip switches on the motherboards back in the day. Can use that for Joust and lives. This is really cool. Again, I don't know, would you call this like a Gen 4 almost game? A Gen 4 cabinet? Because I know you couldn't do that on the previous, you know, Gen 1, Gen 2s, or this, I guess this would be a Gen 3. So anyways, now I'm kind of rambling a little bit as I kind of explore this and kind of see all the different things that you can do. So I might actually... Something to play with as time goes on. Well, again, thank you very much. That is the new Arcade1Up Midway Classic Arcade Legacy Edition, and all the games that it comes with. So, thank you very much for watching this far and putting up with my shenanigans. And I hope you give this video a like, a share, and a subscribe. Join the channel. I've got all sorts of interesting video coming up. I've got some things planned. Now that travel is going to be opening back up, I'll start doing some more travel videos and cool stuff like that. I don't know if I'll get any more propeller videos, but I'll definitely do some more travel videos for sure. Again, I've got the Star Wars pinball machine coming in. I've got the Games Tetris cabinet coming in, and the Infinity Arcade, the Infinity table from Arcade1Up is actually slated to be shipped in June. So, and I've got the 32-inch table coming. The 24s are out there, so I'm hoping that they've worked out a lot of the bugs in between now and then as people are, you know, doing stuff. So maybe there'll be some firmware updates, and the experience will be pretty smooth. So, again, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.